Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellencies, Heads of International Organizations, Your Excellencies, Members of the Board of Directors of the Boao Forum for Asia, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Hainan in March is greeting us with gentle breeze, silver beach, and blue ocean. In this beautiful season of spring, it gives me great pleasure to join you, friends old and new, for the Boao Forum for Asia Annual Conference 2024. Let me begin by extending, on behalf of the Chinese government, warm congratulations on the opening of the annual conference, a hearty welcome to all participating guests, and sincere appreciation to you all for your long-standing care and support for China's development. Our world today is going through accelerated transformation unseen in a century. The world economic recovery is lackluster. Problems and conflicts keep emerging. Hegemonic and bullying acts are deeply harmful. Peace and development face grave challenges. Against such a backdrop, do we work in solidarity to tackle the risks and challenges, or do we cling to the zero-sum mentality and push the world toward division and confrontation? The choice we make and the path we choose bear on the future of humanity and the entire world. In this connection, the theme of this year's annual conference, Asia and the World, Common Challenges, Shared Responsibilities, is a highly relevant one. Where should humanity be headed? China's answer to this question of our times is to build a community with a shared future for mankind. President Xi Jinping stated at multiple international occasions that a community with a shared future for mankind means that the future of each and every nation and country is interlocked. So, we should stick together through thick and thin and endeavor to build this planet of ours into a harmonious big family. This vision is based on the general consensus and expectations of the international community. It also derives from China's sense of responsibility as a major country. It represents China's contribution to humanity's joint endeavor of protecting the homeland and creating a better future. Over the past decade, building a community with a shared future for mankind has developed from a Chinese initiative to a global endeavor, from a promising vision to substantive actions, and from a conceptual proposition into a scientific system. We advocate an equal and orderly multipolar world, and a universally beneficial and inclusive economic globalization. China believes that all countries are equal, regardless of their size, and calls on all countries to rise above the outdated mentality of bloc confrontation and zero-sum game, practice true multilateralism, and jointly build an open world economy. China has proposed and pursued high-quality Belt and Road cooperation. the Global Development Initiative, GDI, the Global Security Initiative, GSI, and the Global Civilization Initiative, GCI, contributing a lot to global prosperity and stability and delivering concrete benefits to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, 70 years ago, the 5 principles of peaceful coexistence were proposed in Asia. Today, these principles have gained renewed vigor and are more relevant than ever. Having been through hot and cold wars, hardships and tribulations, people in Asia cherish deeply the value of peace and understand that development gains do not come easily. It is important that we hold high the banner of a community with a shared future for mankind, jointly build an Asian community with a shared future, and work together for a peaceful, safe and secure, prosperous, beautiful, amicable, and harmonious Asian home. We should jointly maintain security in Asia and contribute positive energy to world peace and stability. History and reality both show that peace and stability are the common aspirations of Asian people, the biggest consensus of Asian countries, and the prerequisite for Asia's development. In the face of intertwined and complex global security threats, we should implement the GSI, follow the vision of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security, reject the Cold War mentality and bloc confrontation, oppose power politics and hegemonic acts, and maintain the regional order that accommodates the needs and interests of all parties. We must always keep in our own hands the future of lasting peace and security in Asia, and pass on the torch of peace from generation to generation. We should jointly promote the development of Asia and provide enormous opportunities for global economic recovery. Today, Asia is the most dynamic and promising region in the world, accounting for 40% of global GDP and contributing to more than 70% of global growth. In the face of a global economy that's been in doldrums for some time, we should jointly implement the GDI, deepen mutually beneficial cooperation across the board, seize opportunities in a new round of technological revolution and industrial transformation, foster and enhance new growth drivers, and promote green, low-carbon, and sustainable development to inject strong impetus from Asia into global economic recovery. We should jointly champion cooperation in Asia and build broad consensus for international solidarity and coordination. Asian countries have the fine tradition of helping each other out in trying times. Together, we have overcome one difficulty after another on our path to development. Now, in the face of clamors for division and confrontation, it is essential that we stay independent, seek strength through unity, continue to walk side by side with each other, jointly oppose unilateralism and self-serving practices, oppose picking sides and block confrontation, and prevent this region and the world from becoming an arena of geopolitical contests. We should jointly advance openness in Asia, and build synergy for a world of win-win cooperation. A review of the course of human development tells that openness brings progress, while isolation leaves one behind. In today's world, the trend of economic globalization is irreversible, and no country is able to develop itself behind closed doors. It is imperative that we work together for win-win outcomes, jointly implement the Regional Cooperation Economic Partnership, pursue high-quality Belt and Road cooperation, and advance negotiations on the new round of China-ASEAN FTA upgrade. In an effort to build a common regional market that is more closely knit and more open, we must oppose trade protectionism and all forms of erecting barriers, decoupling, or severing supply chains, but instead share opportunities in opening up and seek win-win outcomes through cooperation. We should jointly carry forward Asian civilizations and provide a constant driver for exchanges and mutual learning of world civilizations. President Xi Jinping has said, "To meet our common challenges and create a better future for all, we look to culture and civilization to play their role, which is as important as the role played by economy, science, and technology. We need to implement the GCI, respect the diversity of civilizations, promote common values of humanity, and encourage different civilizations to live in harmony and learn from each other and help each other succeed. We should promote mutual understanding and affinity among peoples in Asia and the world, and share the benefits of the progress of civilizations." Ladies and gentlemen, friends, here in China, we recently concluded the annual sessions of the National People's Congress and the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference, which set the targets, tasks, and policy measures for economic and social development this year, and demonstrated China's confidence in economic rebound and long-term growth. China's GDP grew by 5.2% last year and is expected to grow by around 5% this year, one of the highest among major economies. China is advancing Chinese modernization on all fronts with high-quality development, which will inject strong impetus into the world economy and provide more opportunities for the development of all countries, especially our neighbors in Asia. China is committed to innovative development. Innovation is a powerful driver of development. China is committed to an innovation-driven development strategy, one that spurs industrial innovation through innovations in science and technology, and expedites the development of new quality productive forces. Investment in China's high-tech sector has been growing at double-digit rates for several years, and the number of high-tech enterprises stands at around 400,000. Exports of the new trail, namely new energy vehicles, lithium-ion batteries, and photovoltaic products, are growing rapidly. The digital economy has seen rapid growth, and the 5G penetration rate in China tops 50%. China stands ready to intensify cooperation with all countries on scientific and technological innovation, to fully unleash the dynamism of innovation and foster new sources of growth. We will also work with all parties to jointly implement the global initiative for AI governance to promote the sound, secure, and orderly development of AI. China is committed to open development. Openness is the hallmark of contemporary China. China's door to the world will never close, but will only open wider. We will proactively align with high-standard international economic and trade rules and foster a pro-business environment that is market-oriented, law-based, and world-class. We will further shorten the negative list for foreign investment, remove all restrictions on foreign investment access in the manufacturing sector, deliver national treatment for foreign businesses, and make it easier for foreign nationals to work, study, and travel in China. Hainan is developing itself into a free trade port with Chinese characteristics and global influence, and a new pace setter for high-level institutional opening up in China. We encourage you to make investment and start up businesses in Hainan. China is committed to green development. Grain is a salient feature of China's high-quality development. Today, close to half of the world's installed photovoltaic capacity is found in China. Over half of the world's new energy vehicles ran on roads in China, and 1/4 of the world's increased area of afforestation comes from China. We are accelerating China's transition to green and low-carbon economic and social development, and are making every effort to peak carbon dioxide emissions before 2030 and achieve carbon neutrality before 2060. We are also working to cultivate large-scale new growth drivers in green infrastructure, green energy, green transportation, and green lifestyle, which is expected to generate investment and consumption markets with a size of 10 trillion RMB yuan every year. China is committed to shared development. Apart from being a main trading partner of more than 140 countries and territories, China is a primary source of investment for more and more countries, and one of the most important investment destinations for most countries in the world. In the next 5 years, China's trading goods is expected to exceed 32 trillion US dollars, and the potential of its supersized market with over 1.4 billion people will be further unlocked. Investing in China is investing in the future. All countries are sincerely welcome to board the express train of China's development and join hands to work for a global modernization featuring peaceful development, mutually beneficial cooperation, and prosperity for all. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, as an ancient Chinese saying goes, pull the wisdom of everyone and there is nothing you cannot accomplish. Gather the strength of everyone and there is no victory you cannot win. We live in a global village. All countries sail in the same boat and share the same future. In the face of serious and complicated global risks and challenges, we must reinforce confidence and join hands together to build a community with a shared future for mankind and create a better future for Asia and the world at large. To conclude, I wish this year's Boao Forum for Asia a full success. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman Zhao Leji, for your remarks. Now may I have the honor to invite His Excellency Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, President of Kazakhstan, to give his remarks.
I extend my sincere appreciation to the leadership of the People's Republic of China, the Forum's Honorable Chairman, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, and its Secretariat. Since its inception, this platform has evolved into a prominent regional and even global center for dialogue and international cooperation. Indeed, we meet today against a backdrop of unprecedented global uncertainty fueled by geopolitical turbulence and economic upheavals. And the outlook is not very promising. As we approach the midpoint of a decade devoted to transformative development, the sober reality is that the global economy is expected to record the slowest half-decade of GDP growth in 30 years. Simultaneously, one of the major challenges facing the world economy is the ongoing trade tensions between major economies. Protectionist policies and escalating trade disputes disrupt global supply chains, hamper economic growth, and undermine investors' confidence. It is evident that the global economy requires a new development paradigm. Failure to address this challenge may result in missed opportunities in the coming decade. In this context, Asia is leading the way towards a new era of sustainable development. Asia is expected to contribute 60% of global GDP growth this year. It also accounts for 53% of global goods traded in several of the world's largest and most vibrant economies. Foreign direct investment in Asia has grown significantly in recent years. It is also home to some of the world's leading technology hubs, accounting for 70% of global patent filings. The region has substantial human resources. 21 of the 30 largest cities worldwide are in Asia. Of the anticipated $30 trillion in middle-class consumption growth by 2030, only $1 trillion is expected to come from today's Western economies. Together, these factors point to a so-called Asian Renaissance. Asia's economic achievements are a testament to the region's resilience, innovation, and determination. While challenges lie ahead, Asia is well positioned to continue driving global growth and development in the years to come. In this regard, the Boao Forum has emerged as an embodiment of the Asian innovative approach to achieving universal economic progress. It has also established itself as a prominent symbol of China's commitment towards global development. Ladies and gentlemen, as we navigate these challenging times, the synergy of political will and economic prudence is of crucial importance. To achieve this synergy, multifaceted cooperation is indispensable. It is imperative that we come together to tackle these challenges head-on, with wisdom, courage, and inclusive interaction. This fundamental logic is the basis of my country's relations with all other countries, especially here in Asia. Today, Kazakhstan-China relations offer a model of effective partnership in which our country has become a primary trade and economic partner for China in Central Asia. Kazakhstan accounts for half of Chinese trade and investment in the region. Kazakh-Chinese mutual trade turnover reached a historical record of $41 billion last year. In 2023, the cargo volume between our countries increased by 22%, amounting to almost 30 million tons. The groundbreaking mega-project Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, was initially unveiled during President Xi Jinping's visit to Kazakhstan over a decade ago. This project serves as a key bridge between East and West, and Kazakhstan accounts for 80% of all continental traffic between China and Europe. This is a critical advantage that we must fully utilize. Our own investments are strategically aligned with the BRI and aim to build a modern, multimodal, environmentally friendly and sustainable infrastructure system. It is also important that Belt and Road project is linked to the Eurasian Economic Union, and Kazakhstan will be continuously playing an essential role in this process. As a prominent member of the Asian community, Kazakhstan emerged as the largest and one of the fastest growing economies in Central Asia. Kazakhstan accounts for 70% of Central Asia's overall GDP. It registered economic growth of 5.1% last year, almost twice the projected rate of global growth. In the midterm, we aim to sustain at least 6% growth and double our economy by 2029. To achieve this, I initiated a new economic course, one that requires structural reforms, but also builds a more dynamic and stronger nation. Kazakhstan's open-door policy, vast resources, and free market reforms have attracted many foreign companies, including Chinese. We have also recently created a high-powered investment board to bolster implementation of investment projects through prompt decision-making and comprehensive end-to-end state support. In this regard, we invite our Asian partners to invest into our economy and open new avenues for mutually beneficial cooperation. Our focus on modernization and reform, with a commitment to the highest international standards, including the OECD, reflects a sincere desire to enhance our global competitiveness. It entails the implementation of comprehensive policy packages aimed at improving fiscal and monetary frameworks, enhancing financial flows, and strengthening institutional quality. Ultimately, these efforts would lead to fostering a market-driven and competitive economy by making it more transparent, robust, and vibrant. It is clear that to achieve this and to face contemporary global challenges at the same time requires joint efforts. We recognize that no individual country can cope with emerging global challenges alone. Therefore, we must work together to address the issues that face us all. First of all, the world needs a new multilateral trading system based on the principles of fairness and openness. Today, trade barriers, protectionism, and treaty withdrawals are gaining momentum, posing significant challenges to the global economy. Addressing these challenges requires elimination of unfair trade barriers, as well as making supply chains more transparent through digitalization. Second, the global financial framework must be reinvigorated. The financial system should provide equality for all nations, rather than benefiting only a select few. For developing economies to achieve net zero will require a formidable increase in investment, $2.4 trillion per year. However, the consequent reduction of pollution and climate impacts could save the world up to $4 trillion annually. Hence, we urge the international community to scale up its commitment to sustainable finance initiatives. Moreover, huge Asian bond market has the potential to fuel many development projects. The Eurasian Development Bank plans to issue the first Panda bond as a new financial investment instrument. It can be critical to finance global infrastructural projects. Third, food security remains the most pressing global challenge. Nearly 1/3 of the global population still suffers malnutrition. Kazakhstan, as a leading producer of wheat in Central Asia, is committed to utilizing its agricultural potential to ensure global food resilience. In general, we must collectively enhance international cooperation by establishing targeted programs, collaborative agro-innovation hubs, and transfer of innovative technologies. Fourth, the expansion of transit transport cooperation among Asian countries holds significant strategic importance. It is crucial to double up our efforts to develop both existing and new transportation routes. Thus, the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, or the Middle Corridor, has emerged as the most viable path to secure supply chains between Asia and Europe. Last year, the cargo volume through this route doubled to 3 million tons. In coming years, we expect to reach 10 million tons. At the same time, Kazakhstan is ready to cooperate with its neighbors in developing the North-South corridor. Our country has invested more than $35 billion in transport infrastructure. Over the next 3 years, we plan to build over 1,300 kilometers of railways, increasing our transportation capacity towards China, South Asia, and Europe. We welcome the full-fledged involvement of our Asian partners in jointly developing infrastructure projects within these transport crossroads. Fifth, technological cooperation, especially in artificial intelligence, has immense potential to fuel the sustainable growth of the world economy. In this regard, we commend China's Global Artificial Intelligence Governance Initiative. We look forward to fostering strong collaboration among major Asian technology giants to implement joint innovative IT projects. Kazakhstan has worked hard to digitize. More than 90% of governmental services in our country are provided electronically, and the share of non-cash transactions now exceeds 80%. Our country is recognized today by the United Nations as one of the top 30 states in adopting digital technologies and is well equipped to provide a comprehensive IT platform for new projects. The volume of IT exports increased fivefold last year alone. We intend to increase the figure to $1 billion by 2026. Last but not least, it is imperative to cooperate in the field of critical raw materials extraction. Rare earth metals have become an essential component for a wide range of technologies. They are indispensable to achieve net zero in strategic sectors such as industry, digital, space, and defense. We continue to work with international partners on the most effective way to harness our significant deposits of uranium, lithium, titanium, and other rare earth elements. Indeed, there is a strong need for joint geological surveys in Kazakhstan. Asia presents numerous opportunities for collaboration and growth, particularly in sustainable development, digital innovation, and cultural exchange. This impressive ascent of Asia is a true testament to the region's remarkable resilience, boundless ingenuity, and unyielding dynamism. As the region continues to evolve and assert itself, growing influence on the global stage, it is essential for countries in the area to engage and tackle common challenges, while taking advantage of opportunities that can benefit all parties involved. By harnessing its economic, technological, and cultural strengths, Asia has the potential to shape the world's future. As the current chair of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia, CICA, my country sees great and practical prospects in the work of such important venues as the Boao Forum. That's why it is my sincere hope that the Boao Forum for Asia and the Astana International Forum, as twin pillars of international dialogue in Eurasia, can reinforce efforts to address common challenges in Asia and beyond. I extend a sincere invitation to my fellow leaders, innovators, and pioneers to take part in the upcoming Astana International Forum in June of 2024. By embracing a spirit of cooperation and solidarity, we can overcome the challenges that lie ahead and create a brighter future for generations to come. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Prime Minister Skerrit. Next, I'm very honored to give the floor to His Excellency Hun Sen, President of the Supreme Privy Council, to His Majesty the King of Cambodia.
Excellency Li Baomnong, Secretary General of the Boao Forum for Asia, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Excellency Zhao, Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People Congress of China, Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I have the great pleasure of speaking at the opening session of Boao Forum for Asia under the theme Asia and the World, Common Challenges, Shared Responsibility. With over 20 years of existence, the Boao Forum for Asia has proven to be an influential platform for shaping the regional and global agenda, bringing forward the voice and wisdom of Asia in solving difficult challenges while striving to create a peaceful and better world for all. I would like to begin by congratulating the 75th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China, as well as the successful conclusion of the two sessions, namely the annual plenary session of the National People Congress and of the Chinese People Political Consultative Conference, which have identified key measures to advance China modernization based on Chinese context and characteristics. The emphasis placed on technological and industrial innovation, notably through the development of new productive forces, as well as on environment and sustainability, show that China favors quality rather than absolute growth. For the region and the world, we have a reason to rejoice as China continues to pursue open economic and trade policies and express its firm commitment to building of a community of common destiny for mankind by promoting economic globalization and benefit inclusive development for all. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, many parts of the world have not been relieved from wars and their devastating effect on innocent civilians as well as economies and trade across the border. The war in Ukraine is entering its third war, and unfortunately, we see no glimmer of peace on the horizon. The war between Israel and Hamas is still counting many casualties. I'm heartened by China's active subtle mediation seeking a ceasefire in Ukraine. We believe that such action will set a good example for all the responsible actors in the international community in accelerating negotiations and achieving peacefire in Ukraine as well as in other parts of the world devastated by war and conflict without delay. When it comes to our region, there are many tipping points where conflict can erupt if Asian leaders do not consult and engage with each other to find ways to address their differences in meaningful and responsible manner. My current concern is that geopolitics continue to dominate the global economic narrative. News about an economic slowdown or sectorial crisis in one country become a reason to declare victory in other parts of the world. Democratic election has become an opportunity to make extreme promises, hostile action, and selfish interests that undermine global interests and the rule-based international order. Furthermore, the current reconfiguration of supply chain does not encourage open, non-discriminatory, and fair access to prosperities and technology transfer, but rather narrow the circle of friends with the determined objective of weakening the other countries. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for Asia, it is the responsibility of all of us to maintain peace and security in the region, to ensure that poverty alleviation does not reverse course and that future development with shared prosperities can be better fostered. Asia has made great strides in development and serve as an engine of growth, especially during a difficult period when the global economy was at its lowest in 3 decades. Asia's robust economic growth and position as the world manufacturing and trade epicenter have given it an important global role. Despite the recent global economic slowdown and supply chain reconfiguration, Asia as a whole is still expected to contribute 60% of global real GDP growth in the coming year. In this regard, it is essential for our region to work together To maintain this positive momentum, our action should be guided by the principle of rule-based multilateralism that works for all of us, not just for any particular group of nations. We should continue to strive for deeper integration and better connectivity rather than decoupling and disruption. We must recognize that the principle of multilateralism have underpinned globalization, sustainable development, and poverty reduction, tangible benefit for the world so far. I would like to take this opportunity to commend China for its role as a global leader in shouldering a heavy responsibility in supporting the growth of all the nations from Asia to Africa to Latin America. The Belt and Road Initiative has supported the construction of public goods in different continents. These basic infrastructures are integral part of the development and poverty reduction efforts for the people in the beneficiaries countries, including Cambodia. We must recognize that China's model of growth and development has allowed all the nations to prosper with it, not at the expense of others. It is our shared responsibility to foster common growth based on a multilateral, rule-based international order and give all countries, large and small, the opportunity to shine, grow, and have their voice heard. We must endeavor to uphold multilateralism that support the interests of the entire communities of nations so that the people of the world can enjoy peace and a better qualities of life. I would like to conclude my speech by wishing the Boao Forum for Asia continued success and fruitful deliberation in the interest of the world.
Your Excellency, Mr. Zhao Leji, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, Your Excellency, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Chairman of the Boao Forum for Asia, Mr. Li Baodong, Secretary General of the Boao Forum for Asia, Excellencies, distinguished guests, it's an honor and pleasure to be here at the Boao Forum for the first time. In 2022, over 20 million intellectual property or IP applications were filed by innovators and creators around the world. That's about 40 applications every minute. This is not entirely surprising. As the Director General of the World Intellectual Property Organization, I'm seeing more and more countries, especially emerging economies and developing countries, turn to innovation, creativity, technology, and digitalization to drive growth and development. But what may be surprising to many of you is that Asia has become the world's most powerful IP engine, with 70% of all IP applications coming from Asia, up from 50% 20 years ago. Why is this happening? First, confidence in domestic innovation and creativity in Asia has increased tremendously. Not only is Asia home to 300 over unicorns and a quarter of the world's technology scale-ups, but Asia files more patents in semiconductors, digital technology, and computer technology than the rest of the world combined. Asia culture and content is also booming. Increasingly, people around the world dance to K-pop, relax with Asian language film and TV, and connect through games like Genshin Impact. Second, Asia has emerged as a center of vibrant business entrepreneurship. Not only is Asia home to the world's fastest growing middle class, its peoples are also adapting to digital services faster than anywhere else. Asian entrepreneurs drive 70% of all trademark filings in the world, and Asian brands have become household names everywhere, with the region home to 14 of the world's 25 strongest brands. And third, government and popular support for innovation has become stronger. WIPO's Global Innovation Index, or GII, ranks the performance of over 130 economies around the world each year. 6 Asian economies are now in the world's top 20, with China the only middle-income economy near the top 10. The fastest improving countries are also predominantly from Asia. Last year, WIPO surveyed 25,000 laypersons from around the world about their attitudes towards IP. Interestingly, it showed that 75% of people from Asia agree that IP benefits the economy, higher than in any other part of the world. These developments show that Asia has emerged as a major driver of ideas and innovation, and that the global IP landscape has become much more diversified, with game-changing ideas emerging from all parts of the world. WIPO welcomes this development, but it also means that the work of my agency cannot be business as usual. IP can no longer be just for experts and specialists, but also for those innovating and creating on the ground and at the grassroots level. IP cannot be only for the biggest companies, but also for startups, small and medium enterprises, women and youth. And IP must now become a powerful catalyst for all countries to create jobs, attract investments, support businesses, and for economic, social, and cultural development. As a United Nations agency, WIPO is pleased to be a forum where important IP issues are discussed by our 193 members and where global IP standards are set. But discussion must lead to action, and that's why we're focused on using our networks, our expertise, and resources to create impact on the ground. And let me share with you a couple of examples. WIPO has a WIPO Academy that has trained in the past 10 years 1.2 million people. And just in the past 2 years, we trained 220,000 people from all over the world. 45% are from Asia and 80% are from developing countries. And what we're doing is that we're not just training people in technical IP knowledge, but increasingly in practical IP skills, so that people in Asia and everywhere else in the world can use IP to grow their business and to meet their aspirations. We have also launched over 80 impact-driven projects around the world. These are not one-day, two-day, one-week seminars or workshops, but months-long programs that focus on mentoring and imparting skills to underserved groups like women, youth, and small and medium enterprises, as well as even local communities and indigenous peoples. In Bangladesh, Jordan, and Pakistan, we're helping women entrepreneurs brand, package, and market their traditional products like handicraft and textiles. In Bali, we have launched a project on IP for sustainable tourism. In Oman, we're helping frankincense producers add value and enter new markets. We're doing the same project in Kazakhstan for Upward Apple. And with ASEAN, we are supporting initiatives for the region's creative and digital economy, and recently holding a joint youth digital forum in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. But innovation should not just serve a country or region. It has to serve the whole world as well. Let us take climate change, a challenge we all face and which many previous speakers mentioned as well. Addressing the threat of climate change requires that we harness the power of innovation and technology. While green innovations exist, the problem is how to deploy these on the ground to make a difference. Often those who are offering the technologies are not connected to those who need them. And that's why WIPO has created WIPO Green, a free online platform to matchmake those who are offering technologies with those who need the technologies. WIPO Green has grown to cover nearly 130,000 technologies from over 140 countries. It is now the largest green tech platform that the UN offers today. And with 1,000 matches, it is starting to make a difference. But much more needs to be done. And here's where we welcome more Asian green innovators to join us to make a difference to the world with your ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, in these difficult and challenging times, my belief is that IP can be a bridge, not just between an idea and the world, but also between different peoples, regions, and countries. WIPO will work hard to support each country to use IP to grow and develop, and to work with all Asian countries as well as with the global family of countries to harness the power of innovation to address our common global challenges. Thank you very much. 谢谢.
Thank you, Director General Darren Tang. Now may I have the honor to invite Secretary General of the OECD, His Excellency Matthias Cormann.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, friends all, may I join others in thanking the government of the People's Republic of China and the organizers of the Boao Forum for Asia for the very generous hospitality. Thank you also for the opportunity to share a few brief observations in this opening plenary session. Countries across Asia are dynamic, innovative and powerful drivers of global economic development and growth. As has already been noted by one of the previous speakers, Asia will contribute about 60% of global GDP growth this year. Asia's continued growth and development journey will be driven by the powerful combination of your extraordinary pool of human capital, covering half the world's population, your manufacturing capacity and rich natural resource endowment, and your close integration into global supply chains. While leveraging these assets, global cooperation and globally effective, well-coordinated policies to tackle the common challenges of our time will help optimize both the strength and the quality of the growth and development outlook, which will help optimize the opportunities it creates for people across Asia and all around the world. Globalization, increasing global trade, has been a central pillar of Asia's economic success, delivering significant benefits to its people. Indeed, globalization and increased global trade has delivered increased incomes and living standards across Asia and all around the world, helping to lift hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. Effective global cooperation to ensure a well-functioning global market based on a rules-based global trading system in good working order remains very much in Asia's interest, as it is in the interest of countries all around the world. Let's work together to keep improving globalization so that it can continue to deliver benefits for people around the world in an environmentally sustainable, fair and inclusive way. And let's work together to tackle climate change, to optimize the global effectiveness of emissions reduction efforts in countries around the world while adapting to the effects of climate change. Let's work together to seize all the exciting opportunities created by the digital transformation of our economies and societies while better managing some of the associated risks, challenges and disruptions. And let's also work together on effective policy approaches to respond to the economic and social impacts of population ageing, which is also becoming an increasing economic and social challenge for Asia. In Asia by 2050, there will be 41 people for every 100 aged 65 and over, up from just 16 today. The OECD is committed to work with governments across Asia to help navigate these and other common challenges, including through our long-standing key partnership with China. We are committed to continue our work together on reinvigorating international trade. Countries around Asia have made significant progress in trade liberalisation, including with respect to the services sector. But there is opportunity and a need to do more. We are committed to continue our work together on accelerating the sustainable transformation of our economies and meeting our climate objectives. Working together to achieve our shared objective of carbon neutrality. To achieve our shared global climate objectives, we will need to significantly improve global cooperation and coordination of our efforts. The OECD's Inclusive Forum on Carbon Mitigation Approaches is our flagship initiative, designed to help optimise the global emissions reduction impact of efforts in countries around the world through better data and information sharing, evidence-based mutual learning, and inclusive multilateral dialogue. Last but not least, we are committed to working together and share best practices to ensure our education systems equip our young and our adult learners with the skills they need to succeed in an evolving workforce impacted by the green and digital transformations, as well as population ageing. Through our flagship programme for international student assessment, PISA, we help policymakers identify progress in their education systems and identify priorities for further reforms, with an emphasis on foundational skills for reading, mathematics and science. Our latest results from PISA 2022 included 81 participating countries from around the world, including 13 in East and Southeast Asia. The OECD looks forward to continuing our work together with you to tackle our common challenges and to assume our shared responsibilities. We will do what we can to help secure strong, resilient, sustainable and inclusive global growth, leveraging our data, evidence-based analysis and inclusive multilateral dialogue to support better policies for better lives. My very best wishes for a successful Boao Forum 2024. Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you, Secretary General Coleman. Next, I'm very honored to give the floor to the CEO of Saudi Arabia Basic Industry Corporation, Mr. Al-Faji.
It is great to be here. Your Excellency Chairman Zhao, leaders, fellow Boao councillors, distinguished friends all. Ni hao, ni hao. Thank you for having me today. The Boao Forum is the epitome of Asia working with itself and reaching out to the world. Look at all of us. We're from countries all over the world, but particularly here in Asia. In Asia, we're from different religions, if at all, different cultures, very different politics. Yet, we are not arguing, we are not threatening each other. We aren't and we mustn't ever, as we should never follow the disharmony we see elsewhere around the world. We vigorously, energetically and professionally compete with each other and uphold the highest standards of environmental protection and human rights, as President Xi has asked of us all in the letters I have read and the thoughts I have studied from his youth. We must protect the environment, and it is the key to advancing humanity. When we do, This, our competition, improves the standard of living of all of us, of everyone. This is what the Boao Forum for Asia stands for. This is despite the considerable differences in religion, politics and culture. This must be Asia's example to the world. Environment is key, and the most dangerous is global warming. With an estimated up to 300 gigawatts of green electricity built last year, and the 1,000 green gigawatts China already has, it is on track for an amazing achievement over 3,000 gigawatts early next decade, green energy. Add in breakthroughs in the production of green hydrogen, green ammonia, batteries, and Asia can again lead the world into a future without fossil fuels. Here in Asia, we have the leadership, we have the manufacturing capacity, we have the innovation. So the world needs to step away forever from volatile energy prices, lower standards of living, and in the case of 600 million people, no power at all. Step away from life-ending pollution. We have the AI to forecast the sun and wind and the future energy consumption. Green hydrogen, green ammonia, and batteries with a super smart grid can do the rest. China has shown the world how to build renewable energy assets at scale. It has shown how to drive down the cost of renewable energy, and it must show us how to use them. However, there are forces which are pushing against renewable energy, even though Texas has just suffered the worst bushfires in its history. Mexico City is forecast to run out of water in a few months, and Spain has suffered its worst drought on record. How many more warnings? How many more months? How many more years? Hottest on record before we wake up to the fact we must change. China, you will beat your own forecasts of peak emissions in 2030. Only working out how to get all of your green energy into your grid when your population needs it is standing between you and a completely green country. Last year, I stood here and almost alone predicted a worst-case scenario, that we would see our first year as a planet above 1.5 degrees. This scenario happened. Once again, Asia, we can be the example, we can be the proof of what a peaceful, pollution-free world must follow. No longer then will we need fossil fuels. No longer then will our lives and our living standards be at risk. This is a massive economic opportunity worth taking. Asia, let's set the example again. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now declare the conclusion of the opening ceremony. Let's express our appreciation with a warm round of applause to the wonderful remarks by the delegates and business leaders. Thank you all.
出席开幕式的各位贵宾，请您将同传设备留在座位上，或归还给工作人员，并。